Brenner Mills, Minnesota Vikings. Just want to win one before I die.
Dalton Zongrecker, Dallas Cowboys. Just trying to earn a little respect.
Lane Cooner, the conductor of the Baker train.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode here on Wide Eye Sports. You got Bryn hosting, as always. Dalton Spoon joining me today. How we doing, boys?
Killing it.
Doing good.
As always, ready for some football.
Ready for some football. If you clicked on the video, you're here to hear about our breakout players this 2025 NFL season. And we each have three of them we're going to list off. We got some player comparisons to go over. We're going to go through all of that on this video, but make sure to like, subscribe, really helps us out. But without further ado, let's get into it. You guys want to go all three at once, or you want to do alternating?
Let's do one at a time.
One at a time?
Yep.
All right, let's go just in order here. Let's go Dalt, me, Spoon. Dalt, me, Spoon.
Cool.
Dalt, me, Spoon. Dalt, me.
Well, if you are fans of the pod and you know me at all, you already know who my first one is. Dak Prescott. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
It is a Cowboy, though. He
Oh
is
my
a Cowboy.
God,
He is a new Cowboy. I mean, low-key, I am kind of excited. I hope Dak has a fully healthy year, because usually when he does, he throws for over 4,500 yards. Anyway, George Pickens is my first one.
Okay.
You know, just as a fan, that's my fan pick.
Yeah.
He's done pretty good. He's had 1,000-yard season in his career, and I think with a quarterback like Dak that could stay healthy, I am excited for him, and I think he could have another 1,000-yard season.
Yeah, for sure. If he can stay healthy, he can be. I mean, there's the infamous clip of, I think it was Ryan Clark, maybe. I can't remember who said it, but saying George Pickens has more potential than Justin Jefferson. And while I don't agree with that, he's obviously a very talented guy. He's had 1,100 yards once in his career already, had a couple seasons over 900 yards. Every season's been over 800 yards. So we'll see what he can do. My first player.
I was going to say, he's definitely a guy on my radar that I'm looking at, too. I mean, obviously, as a Cowboys fan, but
Yeah.
I mean, he has attitude problems, obviously. We know that. I'm just curious if he can come in and kind of handle himself a little better in Dallas.
Is going to be fine. Him and CD are known friends outside of football. Right. So, I think that is a huge leg up. And I think CD he's not exactly a veteran, but he's kind of getting there. I mean, I actually say he's a veteran.
He's honestly. A vet.
He's a vet now.
He's going into year 6, year 7.
And he's somebody who's consistently in people's top 3 conversations, and so I think he's a really great presence to have as a younger guy.
So you think he can kind of CD can keep him in check? You think?
100%.
Cool.
I don't think anybody can keep anybody in check.
I don't think so.
As a wide receiver, I think you're either in check or you're not in check.
I think it's different when you go to work with your boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got somebody there who daps you up, who sees you. You know what I mean?
I mean, if there's one thing I know about friendship groups and being friends with your boy and doing things with your boy, it's you're more open to being yourself and being honest and not giving a shit what they have to say. So, just saying,
okay, well, we'll see.
Mike Tomlin has a thing for getting rid of receivers at the perfect time. But anyways, I get what you're saying. Let's move on. My first guy I have is Drake May. I fully expect Drake May to take a big jump this year. He's gotta do it. He's got to do it. He's, top 3 pick in the draft. You had plenty of guys willing to move up and give you a haul for Drake May. So he's got to step up and prove it. I'm a big believer in the 3-year quarterback plan. By year 3, by the end of year 3, we know who you are. Mm-hmm. And he didn't do terrible last year. Struggled in a couple of his first starts, I believe. I'm pulling up his stats right now just to make sure before I misspread information. Had a couple struggles early on. It wasn't anything insane. He had a game where he had the 6 attempts that he left early. Other than that, 243 yards, 276, 206, 184, up and down. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Back and forth. Very rookie season. I just I need to see him with getting Diggs, drafting Kyle Williams, having Jalen Polk in the second round last year, having some of those veteran wide receivers on staff already. They add to the O-line. They get Will Campbell. That defense will be good under Vrabel. So all of that put together, and you have a guy who is supposed to be good. I think the Patriots need to be looking for a, minimum 500 season, and I think they should have their eyes set on a 10-win season, expectations wise. Spoon?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Cool. So I think the first one I'm going to bring up is Rashee Rice. I think we obviously Travis Kelce's getting up in age. Patrick Mahomes is going to have to find his number one target. And I think it's perfect for Rashee Rice to step up into. We saw a little bit of what he can do last year. I am a little worried that he does run a lot of slants.
Slant boy.
Yeah, he's definitely a slant guy. So if they can, I mean, man, if he can just run, if we can see him run some other routes successfully, then I think that he is due to have an amazing season with
good season
for the ball.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I don't think he's when I think of Rashee Rice, I don't think of slant boy for sure. No. He
ran a ton of slants, so that's where he got a lot of his yards from.
Yeah, and Patrick Mahomes is in the past few years, not early in his career, but past couple of seasons, is notorious for a low average depth of target. Yeah. So Andy Reid has been working that part of the offense really hard. I don't know how much you guys know about this. Mahomes doesn't call a lot of his own plays. He's given audible responsibilities, but a lot of that comes from Andy Reid's mind. So,
of course,
that is what it is.
Right.
Spoon, you want to give your second player? Or Dalt, you want to give your second player? Sorry, not Spoon.
Yes, my second player is a guy who's going into year 2, who had an amazing rookie year, arguably, one of the greatest rookie years, and that we've seen from a guy, Brock Bowers. I mean, he who even was the quarterback for the Raiders last year? They had Aiden O'Connell for a minute.
They had a couple different guys in the backfield. I'm pulling up the Raiders stats from last season right now.
And he still had
Gardner Minshew was the main starter. That's who it was.
And he still had over 1,000 yards, along with Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers had over 1,000 yards too. So I am really excited and expecting Brock Bowers, a physical player under a coach like Pete Carroll, with a solid quarterback, barring no injuries, you know what I mean, having a quarterback for the full year. I absolutely expect Brock Bowers to have another huge year. No.
Jacoby Myers is gonna have a a Doug Baldwin type role in that offense too. That'll be fun to watch. My second player is Marvin Harrison Jr. A lot of people were kind of down on him because he only had 885 yards in his first season. I don't know if you guys have seen that graphic, but his stats for his rookie season are identical to his father's. Have you guys seen that? No. Like literally almost 1-for-1 across the board. It's crazy.
That's so funny.
But he had 800.
Is that your player comparison?
Yeah, seriously. He had 885 yards, 8 touchdowns, 14.3 yards per reception. He was moving the ball. He was good. He had 52 yards per game. That's good for a rookie. I expect him to take a step forward, though. And we've been spoiled recently with the Puka Nakuas in the Sean McVay offense, the Justin Jeffersons, the Jamar Chases. We've been really spoiled by those guys with 1,200 yards out the gate, 1,400 yards out the gate. Like, that's not the norm. Like that's not what we should come to expect from every rookie receiver. So 885 yards on 62 catches, totally okay with me. A lot of targets, 116 targets. Like to see that the catch to target ratio come down a little bit, but I think he's poised. He looks really physically healthy. He should take another step forward. I'm looking for 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns. That's what I'm looking for. I think he's a wide receiver 1. He's got to take that step. Spoon?
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, one guy that I'm eyeing right now is Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously we saw a little bit of a sample size last year with them losing Debo. That's 80. I think it was like 81, 82 targets that are now available. Yeah. Juwan Jennings already had over 100 targets. I don't see him getting any more. I mean, Brandon Ayuk, he has injury problems, so I really see Ricky Pearsall stepping up to the plate here. Possibly being
Ayuk's even on the team.
Yeah, if Ayuk's even on the team. I'm just saying that, I mean, injury problems. He's not traded yet, so technically he is still on the team.
Yeah.
But
I'm just on hypotheticals.
Yeah, but that's even if he plays. I think Ricky Pearsall is due to have probably 100 targets, which he could easily turn into 1,000 yards, which is a huge step up.
if he has 100 targets, he had 46 last year. So let's just scale it. That's around 65 receptions, and that would be 850 yards off his last year's pace. And if the yards per reception goes up at all because he gets an extra deep bomb or two, you're looking real good. You're looking at 7-8 touchdowns too, 1,000 yards could be really nice
for a number 2. Which I mean, right now he's the number 2 receiver in San Francisco, and I think could be number 1 though.
Could be nice. Could be. Well, right now he's the number 3.
Yeah, right now he's number 3.
We're looking for him to be the 2. Dalton, you want to? Oh, sorry.
I was just going to add to it. His one thing that I do like about him is his catch percentage is higher than Juwan Jennings, and I mean if Brandon Ayuk is there or not, it's higher than his too. So that is some trust that he has built up with Brock Purdy. So I'm interested to see.
I like it.
Interested to see how it goes next season.
I like it, and I like it a lot. Dalton, go for it. Give us your third and final player.
Third and final player is a year 1 guy. Right out the gate, I am expecting Abdul Carter to have a Micah Parsons-esque year. Maybe not quite that much, but I don't think there is much to look at as far as an offense. I mean, obviously, there's Malik Neighbors. You got Jackson Dart. That could be, taking that QB role. But really, I'm looking at that defense, specifically that front 4. And Abdul Carter has a lot of guys he can learn from, and he is already trying to put himself up there with the greats by trying to take that Dexter Lawrence number. And so I absolutely expect him just to have a crazy rookie year. Possible DPOY or DROY.
Spoon, any thoughts on that, or you want me to go?
I mean, I know that you're gonna argue with that because you're not a big Abdul Carter guy, so you can go right ahead and jump in if you want.
I mean, I'm just gonna say this. I mean, if he's playing against, I mean, the first snap of the first game, I think he'll do kind of good, and then maybe a couple other snaps that here and there, he'll do good whenever they're, well, maybe he won't use a speed move this time, and then he uses a speed move. They go, okay, he's just gonna use a speed move all game. He's only got one move. He's only got one tool in the toolbox. He's elite with that one tool. He is an elite dude with a hammer in his hand. Like, he's elite with it. But if I know you're bringing a hammer every single time, I'm going to bring a gun. Like, it's just what it is. Like, if I know you're showing up for a knife fight, like,
I want to know what the comparison is. Like, if his hammer is speed, what's your gun? Like, what's your offense? Who's the offensive?
Real quick. I'm going to make this short because I don't want to spend a ton of time on this. That was a bad comparison. It's the tools in the toolbox. He's bringing a hammer, whereas most defensive ends bring a whole toolbox. They bring a whole kit. They have screwdrivers, hammers, drills, levels, different
wrenches.
Screw types, wrenches, sockets. They got all these things they can use. And he brings a hammer and says, I'm going to build this house with this hammer and this hammer alone. And honest to God, you kind of believe him. You're like, he's really good with that hammer. That hammer work is insane.
When it comes to the hammer, he's the guy you need.
I mean,
he's the guy you want when it comes to the hammer
with his feet. Like, it's crazy. But he only has the hammer. So that's my comparison. He is elite with the hammer. My third and final guy is Keon Coleman. He is I think him and Khalil Shakir will flip-flop roles this season. I think that having Amari Cooper there at the end of the season kind of allowed him to kind of float a little bit as the wide receiver 3 and not have so much pressure on him and not force him down under the current of, a playoff run and having to win every route and not adding so much pressure. And I think he was able to develop a little bit more, learn from Amari Cooper and see what Khalil Shakir did and just kind of sink back into the background and be himself and not have to carry the weight of the world as the full-blown wide receiver 2 for Josh Allen. And he had 29 catches for 556 yards. So you jump that up to, 60, 70 catches, you're at 1,000 yards. He had 4 touchdowns. I expect that to double. I expect that to at least double. So that's my guy. I feel like with Josh Allen, he only played in 12 games. So I like the up.
I like him. I think he has a good year.
Yeah.
So let me get to my point before y'all interrupt anything, okay?
Hey, I'll let you finish. You let me know when you're done.
So I was gonna put Evan Ingram here as my guy. I see him having a big bounce back year in Denver, But I'm going to go.
Okay, let me interrupt you right now.
Go ahead. Okay, I was going to say,
I'm
let me go a different route because nobody's going to say him, and honestly, he deserves to be recognized because he's probably going to have a breakout year. Personally, I expect Roma Dunze to have a bigger year, possibly breaking the 1,000 yards. Maybe, I don't know, could. But if I think Roma Dunze is going to have a big year, then obviously that means Caleb Williams got to have a big year. And personally, I do think he's going to have a big year. I think Caleb Williams, you're about to see the first Bears quarterback, we've said it before, pass for 4,000 yards this year. He has Ben Johnson. He's going to set up so many fun plays and schemes for him to do. I think Caleb Williams could possibly outplay Drake May this year. And that's your guy. I love Drake May.
I mean,
but
are you done? I'm
done because I wanted to say that Caleb Williams. I wanted to get to the point that he's my third guy.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So.
I believe that with Roma Dunze, his numbers were very inflated due to his position. He was able to reap the benefits of having DJ Moore underneath and Keenan Allen over the middle as like those two tiers of like those guys are always getting open in those zones. And I feel like he was able to reap the benefits of that as a wide receiver 3. I mean, Keenan Allen had like 121 targets. So we're opening up a lot of targets for Rome. And Rome had 100 targets himself last year. Right. And he caught 54 of those balls, which is pretty good. I'm not complaining. But I feel like his yards per reception of 13.6 are going to take a huge hit. I feel like he's going to be an 8-9 yard per reception guy, which in the NFL won't get it done. You need to be in those double digits. You need to be high. I mean, Keenan Allen was a low end 2 last year, and he was at 10.6. So once you start upping those targets and upping those opportunities without the benefit of having those guys in front of you opening up space for you, it's the Kelsey versus Kittle debate for me. From whenever they both first started, and Kelsey had Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill opened up the game for Travis Kelsey. Andy Reid's offense opens up the game for Travis Kelsey and allows Kelsey to play at his maximum potential at all time. It allows him to do that. And that's not to say Travis Kelsey is a great player. He's probably one of the top 2 greatest tight ends ever. But playing in Andy Reid's offense, he gets to play to his peak potential at all times. And I felt like, not that Rome was playing to his peak potential last year. Definitely not saying that.
I don't think so. That's what I'm getting at. I don't think he was playing as good as he could have been, and I think that's why he's going to have.
I feel like he played
much more of a big. Like that's the reason why I didn't say Roma Dunze is my third guy.
That's fair.
Because I was like, you know what? Like honestly, I see Roma Dunze. He's probably like I think he's probably going to break the 1,000-yard barrier, which he got 734 yards last year.
Let's be real. Ben Johnson is a cheat code, and as long as he's calling plays, I'm scared.
He will probably get Roma Dunze to break 1,000 yards. And if somebody like Roma Dunze, like what you're explaining, breaks 1,000 yards, I mean, Caleb Williams is going to be right there breaking 4,000 yards.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. All right, that is all 3 of our breakout players to watch for this season. How about we get to some player comparisons? We're a little deeper into the episode than I want to be. We're a few minutes over. That's okay. We're going to get to some player comparisons here. I got 3 of them for you. The first one is 2 wide receivers. Okay, so I'm going to get that brought up on the screen here.
2 wide receivers.
Here we go. We got 3 wide receivers here, or 2 wide receivers here. So AV, we've talked about before on the show, is a stat from Pro Football Reference that tries to assign a numerical value to how valuable you are to the team. It's called approximate value. They have a whole big long formula for it. Go check it out. profootballreference.com. Type in AV. It'll walk you through the whole thing. I don't want to walk through that because that's a whole 20-minute process. So they were both roughly similar players for their team last year. Dude on the left, player A, had a 109 reception season to 101, 1,204 yards to 1,194. Little more yard per reception, about a yard more per catch, which over a course of a season is good. 1 more receiving touchdown over here, and then I added in team QBR. So this is the combined average QBR for every quarterback to start a game. So just so you guys can see, they
fucking bad.
Yeah, right? They had really bad quarterback play last year. Both guys had,
because I know that QBR is different than obviously.
Yeah, 0 to 100 scale, and QBR
Passer rating.
accounts for rushing, passing, sacks, pressure, all of it. It accounts for everything. 1 to 100 scale, 50 is about average.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So I will give you the hint. Both these guys are in the NFC, and both these guys are in the same division.
Okay.
Is one of them AJ Brown?
Neither of them is AJ Brown, but you're in the right division.
Um,
I'm gonna go with player B on the right.
Yep, right here.
Oh.
You
Is
cut
that
out.
Scary Terry?
It is not
Is
Scary
that Terry
Terry.
McLaurin?
It is not Terry McLaurin.
Then maybe player A is Terry McLaurin.
Nope.
but-
Player A is also not
No.
Terry McLaurin.
Oh, I bet one of these is Malik Neighbors because you were talking shit on him last week.
I
Who do you
was gonna
think?
say
Who do you think Neighbors is?
I think Neighbors is player B because he has less.
player
he has
C,
less-
or B. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's
so
under C
it's
column.
under C, but it's the second
Player
Yeah.
C is not Malik Neighbors.
Player A.
Player A.
Player A is Malik Neighbors.
Okay.
So that's why I
man.
included him in this, where he looks just. This is a props to him because I was talking shit. This is a props to Malik Neighbors actually.
Really? Okay.
This is a props to him.
Because player C is CD Lamb, or player
Player
B is
C.
CD Lamb.
Is CD Lamb?
That's why.
Come on now.
Wild.
Well, I am so. It sucks seeing that Neighbors obviously had a little bit better stats than CD, but it's also nice that you're putting a little respect on Malik Neighbors' name.
That's what I was trying to do. I was looking at stats. I was like, okay, well, he didn't do that bad. I do believe he's a bit of a. They did force feed him the ball, but they also force feed CD Lamb the ball because he's worthy of it. Like he's that good.
Right.
I believe that CD Lamb is the third best wide receiver in the NFL. And
Same.
I mean, 41.5, 40.4, very similar quarterback play and extremely similar stats. So, Neighbors did have a bunch, or not a bunch, but more targets, which I didn't want to put in here to sway anybody. I wanted to give Malik Neighbors his props. So, that's the first player comparison we got.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to go down here to our first of two quarterback comparisons. So, I didn't get this all squared away here. That should be middled. Okay, that looks better. All right, so quarterback A, quarterback B, completion percentage, total yards per game, touchdowns per game, total turnovers per game, and QBR. So remember, QBR accounts for how much you're pressured, how much of the pressure is your responsibility, your passing yards, your rushing touchdowns, 3rd and 1, 2nd and 4, game pressure situations, last 2 minutes. It accounts for everything. So that's why we're using it now. Passer rating is a lot simpler. It's a very simple formula. QBR is much more in depth, and I think I'm a fan.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I will give you the hint. Both of these guys are also in the same conference. We have talked about both of them very recently on the show.
Okay. Well, we talk about a lot of quarterbacks all the time.
I know that was a fun one. I wanted to get that one in there.
I was like, we've talked about every quarterback. Same.
Player-
Okay.
Go ahead, if you want to guess, Dalton.
I was just gonna get a big broad guess. NFC.
NFC. Both are
Okay.
in the NFC. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then that means that I can't guess my player.
Matthew Stafford. Are either of them Matthew Stafford?
Nope.
I feel like 71.4 is a really good completion percentage, though,
It is.
for the NFL. So that's going to be a top guy. And
Brock Purdy.
It is not Brock Purdy. Throw you guys can throw divisions out. You can ask any question. I'll answer any question.
I was about to say, what about, are they both in the same division like your last one, or are they in different?
Nope.
They're in
Nope.
different. Okay.
They're both
Player
in-
B is Baker Mayfield.
It is Baker Mayfield.
Let's go.
Okay.
I was looking at it. So obviously, as the Baker fan over here,
Yep.
I was looking at it, I was like, okay, that's a really good completion percentage. I don't know if Baker did that or not, but then I looked at total yards. I was like, oh, that's something Baker could do.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah. No. Total yards. total yards is a big one.
QB1 make it to the playoffs last
He
year?
did. Quarterback A made it to the playoffs last year. did in fact make a playoff run.
Is it Mason Rudolph?
Is that Jaden Daniels?
No, it is not Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Right division though. You're in the right division.
Is it fucking Jalen
Is it
Hurts?
Jalen
then?
Hurts?
It is Hurts.
It's got to be.
It is Jalen Hurts. I went for two guys that we've kind of shit on lately.
See, that's
and
funny
Malik
too because
Neighbors and Jalen Hurts.
I looked at QBR and I was like, okay, Baker has the better stats, but the other guy has a higher QBR. I'm like, that means they're probably a better rusher than Baker. So I immediately guessed Jaden Daniels.
There you go.
So
There you go. That was a good guess. No, so the thing that threw me off with Baker is we've given Baker a lot of credit recently. I would like to point out, and Spoon, don't take this too personally here. Baker had almost 30 turnovers last season. Or sorry. Yeah, he had 29 total turnovers. He had 16 interceptions and 13 fumbles.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Now, granted,
but
he did throw for 4,600 yards and have 41 touchdowns. So I'm not saying he's prime Jameis Winston or
Did
anything.
you say 13 fumbles?
but
13 fumbles.
That's crazy.
I don't know how many of them were lost, but he had 13 fumbles. Put the
about to
ball
say,
on the ground
I-
13 times. That's got to get cleaned up. That's got to
Find
get
that out
cleaned
right
up.
Yeah,
now.
because I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up because weren't we just making fun of Jalen Hurts a year ago for how many times he turned the ball over?
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well?
no. And like I said, don't take this too personally. I'm not
Okay.
trying to shit on Baker. I'm just saying that 1.7 turnovers per game, any given
Is-
game, you can assume Baker's going to give the ball over twice. With a secondary like he has, that is not a good thing.
No.
All
I'm
right.
curious. I'm
Third
looking-
and
looking for-
final one here. We have two more quarterbacks. Total yards per game, completion percentage, touchdowns per game, interceptions per game, and quarterback rating. Any guesses here? Any
Are
questions?
they
Any guesses?
same conference, same division?
They both are in the same conference. They do
AFC.
not. No, NFC.
No. NFC again. Okay. Is any of them Matthew Stafford?
Nope.
God, I really want them. I really want one of
And I'll
them
put
to
the
go
hints
there.
up on the screen here. If you guys get any hints, I'll put them up on the screen so you can refer
so
back.
same. Let's see.
I'll go back to this. What I'm looking at. But, okay, let me. I was not
Either of them make the playoffs last year.
Yes,
Both.
one of them did make the playoffs last year.
One did. One didn't. Is one of them Jordan Love?
Neither of them is Jordan Love, but one of them did play for a team within Jordan Love's division last year.
Jared Goff.
Player A is Aaron Rodgers.
No,
No. Player A is Sam Darnold.
no,
Player B is Sam Darnold.
no.
Damn it! It's not Jordan Love. It's not Jared Goff. It's not Sam Darnold.
Oh, player
Caleb Williams.
Nope.
player B is Caleb Williams.
Nope. You guys are in the
That's
right
all the-
division, though.
That's
You
all the.
guys are-
What? Who else is there? JJ McCarthy? No, it can't.
Nope.
Can't,
Nope,
can't
you
have
didn't
one.
play
of
a
them.
single game.
That's what I'm saying. That's all the quarterbacks for that division.
Nope. There's other quarterbacks in that division. Didn't say they started a game in that division. I said they played for a team in that division.
Oh God.
Last
who's
year
having-
they played for a team in that division.
Yep.
Who was messing around? Willis, Blake Willis,
Nope.
the backup for no.
Nope. You're on the right track with that though. You're in the right train of thought there.
Why am I so bad?
You're at the train station and you're looking at the right train.
It's not Jordan Love and it's not Blake
I'm just
Willis. Who
blank.
who else
No.
played for the
So one of these
Packers.
guys was in the NFC North last season, made the playoffs, and started a game for an NFL team last year.
started a game?
At
For
least
it.
one game for an NFL team.
I couldn't tell you, man.
It was
I
more
have-
than one game, I'll give you that. You guys are missing such a big one. You guys are gonna be so mad whenever you get it. So Dalton, the backup quarterback, you're on the right train of thought with that one.
Okay. Fuck, man. I just can't think of any.
I'll give you a big hint. One of these guys was released from their team mid-season and signed with an NFC North team. Mid-season.
Oh, fuck.
He started.
Is it a veteran? Oh, is it Marcus Mariota?
It's not Marcus Mariota.
Oh.
Jesus, dude.
This guy was a high draft pick though, for a team within a different NFC conference that was released from his team
I feel like
after
this is
signing
such
a
an-
massive contract, undeservedly, in my opinion.
Daniel
Daniel
Jones?
It is Daniel Jones.
That's right. I forgot he got released.
He played, I believe it was 8 games for the Giants this year, and then got released.
That's right. I forgot
That
he got
is
released
right.
in the middle of the season.
Yep.
I thought he played a full season.
Nope. So then who is player B?
Daniel Jones is the quarterback that made the playoffs.
Yeah. Player B also plays in the NFC.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this off the screen here.
Yeah.
Also plays in the NFC. He played in 2 less games. Daniel Jones played in 10. This quarterback played in 8. So he played half the season. He was not released by his team.
Kirk Cousins?
Nope.
No, he played 14 games.
Similar stats to Daniel Jones.
Anthony
he get injured?
Richardson.
He did get injured. It is not Anthony Richardson. It's an NFC quarterback, remember.
Kyler
Oh
Murray?
yeah, that's right.
It is not Kyler Murray. And it is not in Kyler Murray's division. So it's not in the
Cool.
NFC North. It's not in the NFC West.
Derek Carr?
It is not in the NFC South.
Oh, okay.
Is it Dak Prescott?
It is Dak Prescott.
Ugh, ass.
It is Dak Prescott.
Hey man, he got injured last year. Okay.
Yeah, he did. And when he was playing, he played about as well as Daniel Jones did.
That's fucking funny.
That was the one I had to get in there.
By
I'm
the
sorry,
way, real
Bill.
quick, of the 13 fumbles that Baker had, his team recovered 8 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, I was not sure how many he lost, but putting the ball on the ground 13 times again.
It's still not good. I
Still
know.
not good.
Still not
But yeah,
good.
no, I wanted to clarify earlier. I did want to bring up that I didn't know how many he lost. It didn't show that on my stats, so I wasn't claiming he lost all those.
But back to your point, yeah.
But back to my point, Dak did not play very well last year. I think he will hopefully revert to his old self and play a lot better this year. And maybe that's what Schottenheimer meant when he said that Dak was. What did he say? Going through what did it have?
Development.
Yeah,
like
development
the
or whatever.
Okay.
Developmental period.
He
Maybe
didn't
this
say
is
that-
what he meant.
What he meant was, because the question was originally asked about Joe Milton. They were asking if Joe Milton was still in a developmental phase, and he
Well,
was
obviously
saying,
he is.
and he just used a generic, explanation, and he said, well, pretty much all quarterbacks are in a developmental phase with the way that defenses are changing every season. You have to be you have to be a quarterback that's developing every year. So Dak Prescott is also in his developmental phase, is what he
Well,
was
thank
saying.
you for clearing that up. Appreciate
So
that.
here's my thing with that comparison. There's 2
Yeah.
ways you can look at that. You can either look at it like, oh, Dak underperformed, or you can look at it as the fact maybe Daniel Jones isn't as
Didn't
bad
do
of a
as bad,
quarterback as
No,
everybody
he's
says
as
he
bad.
is.
A 47
I-
QBR is not good. That is bad.
I personally don't.
Let's look
listen,
at.
listen,
I know
listen.
Dak played like garbage, but
Man.
like Daniel Jones also played like garbage, so maybe he's not that bad. That's what you're saying right now.
No,
Those
what
are
I-
the
what-
words coming out of
no.
your mouth right now.
The words that are coming out of my mouth is saying that Daniel Jones still took a trash ass New York Giants team into
Yeah.
the playoffs. And did they win a game? I don't think they won. No, they might have won.
did win it.
They
We
won
went
one
over
game.
it. Hold on.
Yeah.
We went over this
Oh,
on
yeah.
the show.
They beat-
You're
they
doing
beat-
the thing that I said people
They
do.
did.
They beat the 30th ranked defense. The
I
30th
listen,
ranked
I
defense.
don't care.
Garbage.
Daniel
They
They
Jones.
were
won
a
the playoffs.
trash can
So is
with
it
an axe.
is it his fault that he got benched though? Whenever his team is dog shit, there's nobody that can make.
He's being paid
There's not a
to carry
quarterback.
the team.
There's not a quarterback that you can put on that team right now and say, "Hey, they're going to be a
Josh
playoff
Allen.
team. No,
Josh
you
Allen.
put Josh
Lamar
Allen on that team
Jackson.
right now, they're not making it out of that division
Honestly,
into the playoffs. I'm going to
just
tell
think-
you that right now.
I think Brian Dable is a horrible coach. So
I think so
that-
too. I
that
think he
has
got
a lot to
lucky,
do
and I
with
think
it.
Josh Allen was willing to work really hard himself and with his own personal quarterback coach and change his throwing fundamentals. And Brian Daboll got credit for that. And I think he's not very good. And I think Josh Allen is just a freak of nature and a really, obviously MVP caliber player. And Brian Daboll got credited for his improvement when it wasn't him, it was Josh Allen. So that's what I think about that. All right.
I'm
Anybody
still
got
saying you put Josh Allen on that Giants team right now, they probably go maybe 9-8, and they're going to miss the
I agree with
playoffs
that.
because of how stacked that division is.
I can see him getting to 10 wins. All right. That's it for the show. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. We appreciate you. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.